Welcome back, Geminis, for another divine message from Spirit. Let's dive in and see what's in store for us. All right. So, right now, I feel like, the collective of Geminis, we're in what we feel like is a waiting period. We're waiting for results. Waiting to reap, waiting to see the results of something. Okay. you know, Ready to be able to sit back and just reflect, see the benefits to be able to reflect on our achievements, right? I feel like for a lot of my Geminis, we don't really see that, the results are already in. I'm hearing the results are in. Like I just got like pictured like the Maury show when they're getting ready to go over the results. They said, well, the results are in. Like the results are already in, Gemini. And that's whether you see that in physical form yet or not. But Spirit is saying the results are here, love. The results are already in. Okay. I feel like, whatever benefits that are being received is not just monetary or in the physical. I feel like for a lot of my Geminis that have been doing the work on themselves and, just in certain, in things around you and all that you do. Maybe you've been working hard for a promotion, or maybe you've been working hard to eat healthier, live better, or change your spending habits, or working hard to move out of a certain atmosphere or environment, or working hard to be a better version of yourself than you were previously were. Where Spirit is saying that the results are in. Okay. I feel like all of the hard work that you've been putting in is here. It's here. Okay? It's here. And I feel like because of all of that hard work, it's giving you, I heard it's bestowing a lot of spiritual blessings, spiritual gifts, spiritual talents. Okay, Gemini? And although we're not, some of us might not be seeing things in a physical quite yet, but I'm getting something strongly here about things going on in the spiritual realm. Okay, it's still early. It's still the beginning. Okay, I'm strongly getting out here that Spirit is getting ready to use you. You're getting ready to be used for a great purpose. I'm getting like, Gemini's, being the center of attention, being someone that people look up to, being someone that inspires, okay? Whatever you've endured, okay, it's going to put you in a place to be able to speak on it, to be able to show others that they can, it's something about your story that sheds light and encourages others to push through and want better for themselves as well. Okay? Something strongly here about Spirit using you. Okay? This is just the beginning. There's a story that needs to be told. There's some type of spiritual truth that needs to be told. And I feel like Spirit is using your story to be able to, relay that message. There is, maybe you've been feeling like you're blocked or you're stagnant or things are just, I'm getting like some Geminis who, so much was going on, they had to kind of separate their emotions, just to be able to get through day to day. Well, this has been, Spirit is saying that this season is over. feeling stagnant, feeling at a standstill, feeling like, emotionally you have to hold back, because if you allow your emotions in with what you're going through, it was going to hinder or block you. Well, spirit is saying, that deadlock is past. We're past that. The path is open, the path is clear. Okay, we can, you're free to reconnect, free to, restore that, with that emotion, with the emotions, but I'm feeling like for a lot of my Geminis, it's not really about the disconnect. Okay, it was something in it about having self-control. Okay, something in it about having control, even though we can't necessarily control, you know spiritual affairs. It's something about having that control in situations, no matter what's going on, no matter what's at play, right? Strongly here, yeah. It, that was the thing. Okay, we needed control, self-control when it comes to emotions, because my Geminis, we've been on one heck of a journey. We've been on one heck of a journey. And now we're in a very, we're I'm here transitioning, if you're not already in this peace, this peace. Well, there it goes. This place of peace. We're able to be calm. We went through a sense of purging. So now our soul is cleansed. Okay? That we're at, this is the turning point. We're Geminis are currently at a turning point. Okay? A turning point where you go from one way to another. I'm getting a lot of my Geminis. If you were in a pay, sorry, I'm tongue tied this morning, a place of feeling not supported, feeling all alone, feeling like I said, that slow, that stagnant energy. Well, now you're gonna swap the lack of support for, abundance and resources. You're gonna swap the loneliness for your tribe or a community with a like mindset that's gonna uplift you, help ground you, help keep you grounded. You're stepping into, fulfillment. There's something strongly here about, your intuition. Just knowing what knowing that, you know, unexplainable knowledge, knowing what you know and trusting what you know and standing on it. And I feel like a lot of that was learned through what we're coming out of, even though we couldn't see clearly the road or what was up ahead, and we're getting hit with all of these things, getting blindsided and hit with all of these things, some of us all at once. We still had to learn to, even though we don't see it, even though we can't feel it, and when I say feel it, I mean in the physical, touch it. Like we can't, we have this, we know that we want more. We know that, that something great is in store for us. It's been told to us, but even though we can't see it in the physical with our eyes, we can't touch it, we can't smell it, we can't taste it. But it was something about, persevering and push and go and still going ahead, just trusting that, you know, whatever, I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this, because when I get through this, whatever it is, that I'm going through, it's gonna be rewarded in the end. I'm gonna see better in the end. Okay. Yeah. You just kept pushing. You just kept pushing. And Spirit says, I see you. I see you, Gemini. You just kept pushing, you know, pushing. Sad through sadness, through sickness, sleepless night, anxiety, depression, you know, in times of feeling hopeless, even when you were in a period of self-doubt. Maybe some of my Geminis may have been in a period where they hated themselves for what they allowed, or or what they've experienced. But you just kept pushing, you just kept working hard, you just kept pushing because you knew at the end of it all there was going to be something beautiful. Spirit says, you're absolutely right. You're here. You know, something about, the full moon, something about the full moon that's bringing in, beneficial changes. It's either full moon or new moon. Something about that strongly here. And I'm not really, an expert in, the cycles of the moon, but I've been getting those downloads a lot. It's something strongly here about either the full moon or a new moon that is going to, create beneficial changes. Cause for celebration. Okay. It's going to bring in, you know, that comfort. Okay. It's going to heighten that sense of peace. You're going to see an increase in your finances. You're going to see your finances and strengthen and become more stable. You're going to see abundance in the home, and you're going to see that abundance in the home and in the body and in your children if you have children, and in your loved ones. Like, you're going to see abundance in ways that you can't quite put a finger on, but that it's spirit working. That is God working here in this atmosphere to create this, but it's coming through because of all the hard work that you put in to persevere, to get to this very point, to get to this very position that you're in right now. Spirit says, yeah, step up and stand out. You know, this season is going to be about you. You know, people are going to see you, but most importantly, you're going to see yourself. Okay, you're going to see yourself. This is going to be something new like no other. I'm getting my Geminis reaching, place or space that they've never been in before. Like, my Geminis, we have had moments where we felt like we were successful, or times and periods where we felt achieved, but Spirit is saying none of those can compare to what you're stepping into right now. None of them can compare into what you're stepping into right now. Well, hold up, Gemini, let's think about this, because we've been doing a lot of work on ourselves. We've been going through a lot of work. We've been making a lot of sacrifices to get through, to make it to this very point, right? Now imagine that all that we've been through, all that we've learned, all of the knowledge that we obtained, and we get to use that to help us for our greater good. I'm hearing unstoppable Gemini, unstoppable, undefeatable, unfuckwittable, all across the board. All across the board. There's an ending to, something that was sad, tragic, or felt like at a loss, or felt like at a standstill, or felt like, they're stuck, stagnant. Okay, discomfort is coming to an end because you have fulfilled everything that you needed to in order to move forward. you know Ace, I'm hearing ace the test. These could have been tests. This could have simply just been awakenings, transformations. But whatever it is that this was, you have successfully accomplished it. You have successfully endured. Okay. And so now, it's time to move to the next level. Okay. This level that you're stepping into is all about conquering. Okay, you're obtaining, you're winning. This is the winning season. Okay, it's going to be a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, a lot of success, when it comes to things that you are trying to execute. A lot of, this is going to be a lot of plans coming into fruition, something that you put in your mind, you speak with your mouth, and you put action behind it. It's coming. You're going to see it. You're going to see it manifest in the physical. I'm getting something strongly here about as soon as it comes to the mind, it's already being worked on in the spiritual. Your team, soon as it comes to your mind, your spiritual team, it's like, okay, all right, let's go, let's get it. Like everybody is working hard. As soon as that thought comes to the mind, your spiritual team starts working behind the scenes before you can even start working in the physical. Man, my God, that is fanatic. That is a feeling like no other. Yeah. Before you even start working, your spiritual team is already doing the work to help make this a success. Gemini, you are moving from discomfort and you are stepping right into fulfillment. You are. It's time to be recognized. That's what Spirit is saying. It's time to be recognized for be you. I'm getting my Geminis that did not change who they were. When it comes to, like when you talk about change, a person changing, we have to really break it down. You might have developed, and I feel like that's where, it kind of gets confused because you do have people that change up completely. They become a totally, an unrecognizable person, but there's a difference though. They might have been putting on, that they're this good person or they have good intentions, and then you see them for who they really are, and they're nothing like, who they portray to be. This isn't that energy, Gemini. Development. You've been developing, right? You've been developing your mind, developing your spirit, developing your character. This is, this is a person who, has love within them, has that spiritual strength already in them, has that strength, that endurance, that perseverance. It has that, it has all of these godlike qualities in them. And it, all these tests, all these transformations, all these awakenings, all it did was develop it. You hear what I'm saying? It developed it. You can't develop something that was never there. These were things that were already embedded in you. These were things that were developed from an authentic you that was already in you from the time that you were placed in this earth. It was already in you, and you were developed. You went through seasons and storms, and all it did was make you better. Like, I can't, like, Gemini, this just blows my mind. Like, it just blows my mind because, a lot of people can't, well, they say if you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. Well, we've been cooking. Spirit said, let Gemini cook. Let Gemini cook. And that's exactly what we've been doing. That's exactly what we've been doing. Bit by bit, layer by layer, we've been letting it cook. We've been in that, we was marinated. We got ready, we was marinated. Now we in here and we finna cook. Everything finna penetrate and go. Everything that we went through developed us. It developed us into who we are stepping into this season. Who we are stepping into this season. So if a person looks at you and cannot recognize you, that's because they never really seen you. They never really seen you, you know? You've always been this person. All you needed was space and opportunity, and Spirit gave it to you. And so now this is that space and opportunity to let what was already in you shine. So if a person says you acting brand new, if a person see you and don't recognize you and say you look different because you never seen me, you never believed in me, either you never wanted me to, or you never even thought that I could be. But it's already been in me. It's already been in me. Spirit just helped develop me. That's it. Gave me a space and opportunity for me to lock in and buckle down with what was already in me. And so now is your season. Now is your time. And I'm telling you right now, the people that didn't see you, the people that didn't hear you, didn't want to feel you, they are not meant for you to carry them over with you in this season. You know, Spirit is something strongly here about Spirit saying, this is for you, you know. And if you did have someone that was locked in with you and rolled it out with you, this is for them too. But this is for my Gemini. This is. Because what you're getting ready to experience, my God, what I said, let it cook. Well, guess what? Chef's kiss. You are going to be a reflection of everything that was already in you. You are going to be a reflection of what God is. You are going to be a reflection of how Spirit, how Spirit works, how Spirit creates, how Spirit molds. You are that. I'm saying like a trophy. Like when God looks at you and sees a trophy. I'm hearing plaque on the wall. Because whatever was already in you, God seen and had high hopes. Okay? And so now you are, in this season of winning, in the season of receiving your flowers. I'm getting my Geminis that have went through long periods where they were not recognized, where they were not seen, where they were not heard, where no one did not want to help build and develop. Spirit said, don't worry about it. No one else don't want to do it, but I will. They don't want to see you win, but I do. They scared for you to be number one. I'm not. I'm getting a lot of Geminis that are stepping into fulfillment and stepping into a season. Oh my goodness, Geminis, the season that you are stepping into. And the thing about it that gets me the most is you're ready for it. You know why? Because you've been developed by the best. You've been developed by the best. And so you're stepping into one of the best seasons ever. And you were developed by the best. So Gemini, get ready. Game on.